Hi everyone, I'm doing a video today on me basically learning how to use gouache paint. This is a medium that I've been wanting to work with for a while, and it's only after I watched a couple of YouTube videos today that I realized that gouache is actually a water-soluble base paint. I didn't realize it was so closely related to watercolor paints, but obviously it has a little bit of more of a opaque nature to it. So this is going to be a learning experience for me. I've watched a couple of YouTube tutorials on a couple of simple drawings, and I'm going to try out one of them, show the channel name, of course, the tutorial I'm doing, the paints I'm using, and yeah, let's get into it. So obviously I'm going to be using gouache paint for this video. The brand is Royal Langnickel Essentials. Got this off of Amazon. I'm sure you can get it in most craft stores, and not particularly this brand. I'm sure any brand will do. I know that usually more professional grade paints will obviously yield better results. So I'm not too sure at what level this is at, but I spent about 30 bucks on this, so I imagine it's going to be pretty basic, I guess. So we'll see. In addition to that, I'm going to be using my mixed media paint book here, and there's not too much in it right now. That was just one basic example of watercolor tutorial that I saw on YouTube. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to, and because this is a mixed media paper, even though it's a heavier paper and it will hold heavier paints and can support watercolor, you obviously want to use watercolor painting paper for watercolor bases, so it kind of didn't turn out the way I wanted to. But I'm going to use it for the gouache today. And that is another random drawing. Never mind that. Anyways, I'm going to start off here. And I've got 2 containers of water. One just to clean off brushes, and the other, I guess, as an extra to clean. Got my little paint palette here, which has some crusted acrylic paints, because I have used acrylic paints in the past and came up with some pretty neat results. Don't mind using acrylic painting. Some of my paintbrushes here. A lot of these paintbrushes are from the dollar store. I'm in Canada, so a major dollar store chain that we have is called Dollarama. So the majority of these paintbrushes came from there, and this set in particular, called Artify, came from Amazon. So these brushes in particular. And it was just a nice little set. I like the little packaging it came in. And I think that's pretty much it to starting off with using gouache paint. I think that's all you really need, really. So let's do this. The tutorial I'll be following today, it's how to paint pink clouds. So from my understanding, this is a beginner-friendly tutorial, and the end result just looks really pretty. The channel name is AhmadArt, and I'm looking forward to it. Not very long of a video. I think it's about 7 minutes. Yep, 7 minutes. So I will post back my results. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I also have some washi tape. I'm just gonna block out a certain area, and we'll see how well it works on this mixed media paper here. So okay. I started off with my painting here. I've used the colors ultramarine blue and titanium white. Mixed them together in my palette here, and I've painted it pretty darkly, so it's very opaque right now. Only used a little bit of water just to kind of help it spread out a bit. A lot of the tutorials that I've watched use more water and start off with a really diluted composition of color, and then just gradually build up as you're painting layers. But because I'm following specifically a tutorial, and he started off with a pretty opaque broad strokes, and he used a round brush, just your basic round paintbrush. If you go over to the video there's kind of a look. See here? So yeah, That's starting off with, and then I have a little bit of a section here for the clouds that are gonna come in. So now I'm adding the clouds. Start off with the darkest cloud and the lightest cloud. So I used the colors mauve, rose, and orange red. In the tutorial, he used a peach red and pale mauve, I think. So I just added a couple other elements. So mine look a little bit pinker than his, to be honest, but I kind of like the shade I'm working with. So essentially you have the darkest shade with all those three colors I just listed mixed together. And then you just add a little bit of titanium white to kind of sheer it out and make it a little paler. And then you have even a paler shade. So here's the darkest shade, the mid shade, and then the lightest shade with a little bit of white left over. And that's how you're going to layer the clouds to kind of start to give them some dimension. So I've started off here, and then I'm gonna go into here and paint with the lightest of the pinks that I've created and go from there. Okay, so there's my finished product for today. That's my gouache painting of pink clouds. And I removed the washi tape, so it's got a nice crisp edge to it. Definitely probably could have spent more time in blending out the clouds a bit more, but overall I'm just gonna keep it at that for now. And I think I'm gonna practice with another gouache tutorial and start to use more water in the paint and start off really light and then just gradually build up to a more opaque like consistency. So that's it for today. And AhmadArt is the art channel, and it is how to paint pink clouds tutorial. So I'm glad I gave it a shot today, and I'm definitely going to continue using this medium as well as other mediums and working on my sketching and drawing, learning how to draw people's faces, and overall just expanding myself as an artist. So that's it, and until the next video.